Tully, thank you
Scott,
so much.
good
It's
to
a
see you.
pleasure to see you. Dan is here from the law firm of Kilbourne and Tully in Bristol. Dan, I consider you a friend and also a very good helper, and I am your perfect clientele.
Okay.
Because you do elder care, but it's not so much the elder. I mean, we do target the elderly people to get the care, but it's most of the time we got to get to the kids first to make sure that the parents do get the kind of care that they need. And I went through with you, I said my grandmother's investments in her house, everything got wiped out by the nursing home because we didn't know what to do. We didn't know anything. So you say there is a talk that you should be having with your elderly parents.
Absolutely, Scott, and we call it the talk.
The talk.
Because it's important for family members to sit down and talk to their parents. Oftentimes it's very uncomfortable because we're talking about legal issues, financial issues, healthcare issues. The most important thing is having the talk, and we have something called the 40-70 rule, where if the adult child is 40 or older and the parent is 70 or older, it's important to sit down and start discussing these issues with your parent to make sure that if a crisis hits, that they don't end up losing everything they've worked their lifetime for.
It's amazing, and it's a simple conversation that can head off a whole bunch of problems.
Absolutely.
All right, now you're saying 1/3 of adults in the U.S. have a major communication obstacle with their parents talking about this issue?
It's not easy to talk about your legal issues, the financial issues. There's also problems when we talk about, you know, mom or dad may still look at you as the little child, and now you're an adult, but they still look at you in that way, and it's uncomfortable, but it's so important to have this. We have clients who come in who've gone through this and have the discussion, and then a crisis hits and they don't lose everything, and mom and dad's wishes and their rights are upheld.
And then some of the kids start fighting, and if it's not written and in stone and their well wishes are respected, then that's a whole big problem.
A lot of that can be avoided by having the talk in advance, getting the issues done, getting the legal documents to make sure that if the crisis hits, you're that much more ahead of the game.
And now we're saying that 2/3 of all people, all children in the United States, according to AARP, never have a frank discussion with their parents about this. Is that true?
Absolutely. There are so many people that wait until a crisis hits. Someone's in the hospital, they're in the nursing home, and that is not the time to do it. You know, in Connecticut, we're looking at around $145,000 per year is what nursing home costs. Care costs in Connecticut.
Could you say that number again?
It's $144,000, and if you were, for example, in New York State or Greater Long Island, that's about $175,000 per year.
And speaking of Greater Long Island, we have a very special listener on the line. Mother Haney, are you there?
Yes, I am.
And have you been listening?
Yes, I have.
Consider
Very interesting.
Consider the talk talked about. Now, Mom, do you have any questions for Dan while you were listening?
No, I think everything that he had to say was exactly right.
Right.
Conversations need to be had, and children sometimes avoid it because they feel it's an awkward thing to do while the parent is still active, but it really needs to be done.
Right. Can I have the house signed over in my name?
When are you coming down to talk?
That's it. She's trying to get me down to Long Island once again. All right, Mom. Thanks for calling in and for not cursing.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you later. So my mom, typical, you know, we're trying to, and give me the step back, the 5-year step back if you sign a house over.
Right. If you transfer an asset in Connecticut and in most states, it takes 5 years for it to be protected. And who can really project their health 5 years in advance? That's why it's important to have these discussions while your parent is healthy, before a crisis hits, so that if the crisis comes up, everyone is on board. It's been discussed. There's been a dress rehearsal, if you will.
Absolutely.
And you can deal with the situation much better. We're talking about a lot of money here.
Dan Tully, the law firm, Kilbourne and Tully in Bristol. We have all of the information on our website. Honest. I trust him. I like him. This is a man you can go to. Thank you, Dan.
Scott, good seeing you again.
Good to see you. We'll be right back. You're watching Better Connecticut.